Hello guys, welcome to another one of my videos. In today's video, I am going to be sharing about my spiritual awakening and how it happened with you guys and what changed and how I changed after my spiritual awakening and who I was prior to that. Let's get started. First of all, let's understand what a spiritual awakening actually means. A spiritual awakening is when a soul awakens to the reality of the world and the reality of the self. The whole illusion or the veil is lifted away, and you can now see clearly the world for what it is as a multi-dimensional world, and you are a multi-dimensional being, and a person is not just one-dimensional. They have different layers to themselves, and every person has a light and a dark side. Even the world has a light and a dark side, and all the dimensions of the world coexist here and now. Just because your senses cannot perceive something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So there are a lot of spiritual awakenings that happen to an individual or a soul throughout the journey of life, but the first ever spiritual awakening that anybody will have is the awakening of the illusion of the world and the illusion of the self, because we have been programmed to believe certain things about the world and about us. It's because a lot of people in the world don't themselves realize these things, and because majority of the people don't realize that the world's true nature is not what they perceive it to be, that gets transferred to others, and we start believing the world to be something that is completely not true. It's not the mistake of the society, it's not the mistake of our ancestors that certain things or truth was not being given to them or disclosed to them. Certain knowledge was not being given to them about what society, what the world, and what the self is actually about. So we cannot blame the world, we cannot blame people, because it's not our mistake that we have been conditioned to believe certain things. But it is our mistake if we choose to ignore it even after we know the truth, and we choose not to see it, and we act like or pretend like it doesn't exist, right? That is a spiritual awakening. Getting close with divine, getting close with God, getting close with source, and knowing that source energy, divine energy, is within every individual and every being. Because I am just a part of you. You are watching yourself. I am not different from you. If you clicked on this video, I am just you in different form, giving you this message because this is the time in your life that you need to hear this. So your higher self called me here today to give you this message as you itself. So I'm just you and you're just me. Do you get it? So that's unity consciousness, and that is oneness, and that is the law of unity. Everything and everyone has divine in themselves. That is a spiritual awakening. When someone realizes this, and it's just knowing that everything is one thing, but just experiencing that and realizing that for yourself is a whole nother different thing itself. So this is a spiritual awakening, shattering the illusions, getting closer to God, and seeing yourself or seeing you as divine itself and everybody else, not just you. If you see yourself and as divine and everybody is under you or below you, that is God complex, and that is not true. Seeing yourself as divine means that you are seeing everything and everybody else around you as divine as well. Nobody is above or nobody is below. Everybody carries the same energy, right? So who was I before my spiritual awakening? I was sad, I was depressed, I was going through the dark night of the soul. I was going through so much darkness that I became darkness. right? Not in a good way at all. I was sad, I was depressed, I was lonely even though I was around people. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I liked, what I didn't like. I didn't know the self. I didn't know myself. Most of my days spent thinking negatively. There was a lot of negative thoughts in my head, a lot of negativity in my head, because I used to always think about the worst case scenario. This is the dark night of the soul, which happens within the self. And the other dark night of the soul that happens in the world is that you start to get faced with darkness itself. Like, it's like darkness coming and standing in front of you, like shadow people. And that happened to me during my awakening. What happened was I used to start seeing 1111 everywhere. It was so magical. It's making me so excited. I think I was around 17 to 18 years old when my spiritual awakening happened. I was 18 at that time, and I used to see 111 everywhere. I used to see butterflies. I remember I was in university, and as soon as I used to like leave the college near my college gate, 3 times in a row I saw the same butterflies, 2 butterflies, monarch butterflies, and they used to fly in front of me. Like, it was like a deja vu. Not even a deja vu, because it happened in reality. So these butterflies, every time I passed through the direction, they used to come in front of me. It was like, why is that these butterflies are coming near me every time I'm in this spot? Like, it was crazy. I got connected to butterflies and the world in itself, and 111, like something was trying to tell me something was trying to awaken me. And then I saw these videos. Suddenly some video popped on, because my mind, I didn't know at that time that our mind creates our reality. So I was just going through YouTube and a video pops up. What does 111 mean? I didn't even Google for it. I didn't even search for it. It just popped into my feed. It was suggested to me, and it was a video from Infinite Waters Dive Deep. I think you guys know him. He's one of the OG spiritual content creator, and he creates content about all spiritual things. So his video popped up about what 1111 meant. It is 2017, 2018, and there was not a lot of spiritual content on YouTube at this time. And I saw his video about 111, 1111 to be more precise. And from there my journey started. And yeah, it was a lot of me realizing and seeing the darkness within me being aware of my own negativity and my own thought patterns, and how I'm thinking about my own self and what my perception is about my own self. This is called the dark night of the soul. Before that, I think my third eye awakened during my spiritual awakening, and I did have a Kundalini awakening. I experienced symptoms like vomiting. I used to eat and go to sleep, and suddenly I used to wake up and vomit all my food in the morning. Like, food never used to get digested itself. It was like all stuck energy just came out through me to vomiting, and it was like energy was moving through me. And my third eye was suddenly awoken, and I started seeing shadow people, and I was going crazy. I didn't know what was happening, and it was like I was seeing all these figures in my head, in my spiritual eye, and I used to see colors. At this time, I don't know what chakras are. I don't know what meditation is. I'm new to all this. I'm not even aware of these terms. But suddenly all these things started happening to me, and I was not able to explain these things to anyone. And even if I explained it to them, they would look at me like I'm crazy. But if you're watching this, I'm here to tell you that you are not crazy. You are just going through an awakening. And sometimes when you awaken your third eye, I think the illusion of the world just shatters so much that you have to awaken your third eye. If not, you cannot see the illusion, and you cannot see the veil being lifted, and you cannot experience some things that tell you that the world is actually different from what we have been told, that it's actually multidimensional, that everything is happening right here, and other people or other dimensions can be here, and you cannot even sense them. You cannot be able to see them, but it's happening. Just because your senses can't see it or feel it or perceive it doesn't mean it's not there. And once you awaken your third eye, your spiritual awareness increases and these things will be made clear to you. And mind you, at this time, I'm not reading books about self-help. I'm not reading books on spirituality. This just happened to me, and it was just a realization that, okay, this is the reality of the world. Everything is energy. I am energy. The world is energy. And the world and everything, the matter is illusion. It's because I started seeing shadow people, and my perception of reality just changed completely. It was like sudden download coming to me, or the universe saying that this girl has been going through it and enough is enough. I want her to realize her own power right now, so I'm going to give her a rude awakening. I won't even call it a spiritual awakening because mine was like a rude awakening, and within a week I'm like completely different person, going through completely different experiences. And it was just like eye-opening. It's like my mind, my eyes, my body, like my chakras just awoke, and that was the experience I got. And I used to get these tingling sensations too. I didn't know what was happening at that time. I didn't even know what chakras are, what meditation is. Only when I was 19 years old did I start meditating. Before that, my spiritual awakening, I didn't know any of these things. It was like universe telling, now Sabrina is going to turn 11, so she's gonna turn a witch, and now she's completely a different person. Same thing happened to me. I turned 18 and now I'm a completely different person with psychic abilities, with increased perception or awareness and sensitivity. Like, who are you? I didn't know you had these things, and these things are not special. I am not special for having this. I think every person has this. Every person is psychic. Everybody is sensitive to energy. It's just that we have not been told that enough, or not been prepared to see world in that way, that we are just closed off to this idea, so it's not open to us. You can only perceive magic if you believe in it. And if people don't believe in energy and people are not open to the spiritual world, they will never experience it. It's as simple as that. So if you are someone who is going through a spiritual awakening, or who wants to go through a spiritual awakening, for different people it happens differently. For me it happened differently. My experience may not be your experience, but this is what happened to me, and these were the things that happened during my spiritual awakening. So yeah, and something in me changed after that. After going through so much darkness, after seeing things for what they are, I just realized as much as darkness there is in the world, the more light there is. And I feel like I was just being prepared to come into the light and let go of darkness forever, and know that there is nothing to be afraid of the darkness. Just because something is dark doesn't mean it's scary. I was being made comfortable to be in my own darkness, to be in my own shadow self, to be in my own negative self. Like, why should I view it as something bad, right? Why should I view this thing as darkness as bad and light as good? Why is there this duality? Maybe darkness is not bad. Maybe darkness is what pushes you to the light. And just because you are all of light doesn't mean you haven't experienced darkness. The more darkness there is, the brighter the light shines. So the more darkness you go through, it is you preparing your vessel to carry so much light within you. So if you are going through pain, struggle, trauma, anxiety, depression, all these things, you're going through the dark night of the soul, you are going through it and you don't have even a single point of faith in God, just know that all this darkness is forging you to go into the light, and you will be of the light, right? You are of light. Darkness and lightness are, dark and light are the same coin but different sides. So once you understand that, you won't perceive anything as bad. You won't perceive your own negative self as bad. And me being overly critical and overly criticizing myself for every single small mistake that I made, or every single bad decision I made in my life, I think I started to embrace the darkness within me. I started to love the darkness within me. I stopped wanting to be this good girl. I stopped wanting to be this girl that is perfect and doesn't make any mistakes. I started accepting the darkness within me through going through the darkness. Yes, spirituality is about God, spirituality is about getting closer to God, but it's also about seeing the darkness, guys, experiencing the darkness within you, within the world, within the energy fields. Because when you are going through a spiritual awakening, sometimes forces don't want you to awaken. They don't want you to be of a higher frequency. They just want you to be in fear. So what they do, they scare you. They scare you by making the energetic field or the darkness to be perceived as something bad. But if you have the strength to go through the darkness, go through the tunnel of the darkness and reach for the light, nothing can stop you. You have to. For me, dark night of the soul is seeing your shadows, seeing your negative side, your negative thought patterns, but also in the spiritual world, in the energetic world, you have to see darkness and go through it and reach for the light, and not allow darkness to have control over you, not allow darkness to hold you. You need to let fear go in the energetic field as well and reach for the light and cover yourself with a bright light of energy, white bright light of energy. That is also a dark night of the soul. You just being afraid of the unknown, afraid of the unknown, meaning you are afraid of the reality of the world itself. You cannot accept it. You don't want to accept it. This is the dark night of the soul. You cannot accept the reality for what it is, because it's shattering your own perception and it is full of darkness. Yes, the sun comes and goes, but you know what? It is full of darkness. The world is full of darkness. And darkness is what holds energy together. And that is the dark night of the soul. You being able to sit within your own energy and the own energy field or the quantum field and not being afraid of it. And knowing that the more darkness there is, you are a beam of light. And there is light within the darkness, even though your naked eyes cannot perceive it. What is light and what is darkness? Like, there is nothing different between the two. And once you realize that, you have truly awakened. And same thing happened to me. I completely changed. I started loving myself. I started falling in love with myself. I didn't be afraid to make mistakes. I was fully aware of who I am, and I am so happy that I'm one with God, and I'm so happy, guys. I don't know, I've not written anything down to tell you guys what it is. It's just peaceful. It's just knowing and trusting and having faith that, okay, whatever is happening is for my highest good. If all those things in my past didn't happen, I wouldn't be here. Everything that happened in the past was for a reason. And acceptance. I started accepting reality for what it is and me for what I truly am. And that's what changed. Just acceptance. I just couldn't accept my reality. I just couldn't accept the fact that things were not going as I planned them to go. But why am I so in control? I let go of control issues. I gave all the control to God. Why am I in control? Like, God is in control. I am not in control. I'm just a mere